Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of Futbol Mundial, where myself and Michael McCubbs have a look around the latest football news and gossip from around the world.
Yes, that's right, and this week we have an absolute treat for you. The end of sexism, apparently, the re-emergence of racism, not so good, a crazy referee and a massive name in trouble once again. Ooh, tasty. First up, we have one of the most crazy things you could ever see on a football pitch.
Yes, we are talking about the actions of one French referee, Tony Chambron, who attempted to kick Nantes defender Diego Carlos during their 1-0 defeat to PSG on Sunday.
The incident made sure no one was talking about this routine win for PSG, sealed with Di Maria's 12th minute goal, just his second in 13 Ligue 1 appearances this campaign. Instead, everyone was fixated on Chambron's attempts to kick Carlos after he inadvertently collided with the referee in injury time.
To top it all off, Chambron then got to his feet and showed a bewildered Carlos a second yellow card for defence. The 24-year-old Brazilian was understandably incensed and had to be forcibly restrained by his teammates.
No wonder he got absolutely done there. Unsurprisingly, the Nantes players in hierarchy failed to see the funny side, with their president Valdemir Keita calling for Chambron to be banned for 6 months. Chambron has subsequently been suspended by the French Football Federation until further notice. This bizarre incident completely overshadowed PSG's 7th straight win in all competitions, which takes them 11 points clear of Monaco and Lyon.
But that wasn't the only refereeing shocker this weekend though. Pranjal Banjir got 4 things wrong in just one incident in a match between Mumbai City FC and Kerala Blasters in the Indian Super League. He gave Kerala a free kick which shouldn't have been awarded in the first place. It was then taken 5 metres in front of the incident and the ball was moving.
Absolute shocker. To make matters worse, Canadian striker Ian Hume then scored the only goal of the game from an offside position for Kerala. What a complete mess. Not a good weekend for officials.
It wasn't just referees who were misbehaving over the last few days, but also Russian strikers.
Indeed. Do you remember Pavel Pogrebnyak? I've got the name right there. I don't remember him, but apparently he played in England between 2012 and 2015 with Fulham and Reading. Well, he's now playing for Dynamo Moscow, and he's landed himself in some very hot water. Ooh.
Yes, he has. The Russian, who scored 8 goals in 33 appearances for his country between 2006 and 2012, decided to miss his team's league game against Angie last month to travel to Italy.
Yes, and it's emerged that the 34-year-old wasn't heading west to take in some culture and sample the local cuisine, but instead attend a match between Juventus and Inter Milan.
I wouldn't blame him, to be honest. Club officials realised over the weekend as photos emerged of the frontman in the stands on social media. They are said to be furious and have opened an internal investigation.
Naughty Pavel, no, that's not his porn star name, faces the prospect of being sacked from his team, but it's unlikely his teammates will miss him much, as he has made only one solitary appearance off the bench this season. No wonder he's jet-setting.
God, but if he is sacked, Pogrebnyak may ask himself as he sits on his sofa in his boxers at 11 AM in 2 months' time, was that 0-0 draw worth it?
Probably. Now for something completely different, as we have some fantastic football news to bring you from the Middle East.
Yes, Saudi Arabia may be the 14th richest nation in the world, but they are lagging behind in terms of women's rights. A 2016 report by the World Economic Forum ranked Saudi Arabia as the 4th worst nation for gender parity.
That is pretty atrocious. Yes, sadly, women in the old monarchy are unable to compete in many sports, swim in public, or even, get this, try on clothes when shopping. That is outrageous. But history was made this weekend when football fan Sarah Al-Kashgari became not only the first woman to attend a game in the country, but also to work at one.
The 18-year-old, who's a student at King Abdulaziz University, was responsible for greeting guests and showing them to their seats before the game between Al Ahly and Al Batin.
Yes, Sarah, who is in her own words a hardcore Al Ahly fan, said that it was about women finally achieving one of their demands. We wanted to enter the stadium, and we did too right. And what's more, Sarah must have been delighted with the result as her team ran out 5-0 winners.
Well done, Sarah. You are truly a footballing pioneer. We salute you.
Now for some very depressing news. Racism in football has once again reared its ugly head.
Last week, ex-England international Emil Heskey said racism was the norm in football, and Newcastle under-23's coach Peter Beardsley was accused of racism and bullying. This, though, tops the lot in its disgustingness.
Yes, Spartak Moscow are once again at the centre of a racism row after their official Twitter account posted a video of 3 black players in training along with a caption that translates as "see how chocolate melts in the sun" with a series of pretty derogatory emoticons.
This is the 3rd time in a matter of months that Spartak have been embroiled in a racism controversy. In September, they were ordered to partially close their academy after some fans abused Liverpool striker Bobby Adokanye in a youth league match in September.
And then last month, their defender Leonid Mironov was found guilty of using racist language against Red striker Ryan Brewster.
Oh my. Ironically, the day before the incident, the Russian Foreign Ministry accused the British media of conjuring up government-led propaganda in the build-up to the World Cup. These worrying scenes show that just 5 months out from the Russia 2018, the hosts continue to have massive issues with this horrible stain on the game. Just before we move on to our next section, we'd like to give a massive shout out to Cyril Regis, who sadly passed away this week.
Yes, the former West Brom and Coventry City striker was a true pioneer for racial equality in the game, coming up through the ranks in the 1780s when it was an even bigger problem and receiving horrid abuse from the stands. By the end of his career, he was known as a legend.
Our thoughts go out to his family and friends. He'll be sadly missed by all of us at FD.
Now, last week in our One to Watch section, we gave you the inside line on Paulinho, the 17-year-old Vasco da Gama striker.
This week, thanks to Fabian Seamer in the comments section, we are profiling 22-year-old Lazio keeper Thomas Strakosha.
Yes, Strakosha was born in Greece but represents Albania internationally and has picked up 4 caps for the Eagles since making his debut last year.
He has been a regular starter for Lazio since March 2017 and has started every Serie A game this campaign for the IB Canesti, who currently lie in 4th position.
The keeper has been in flying form in 17-18, making 2.7 saves per 90. That's better than Neuer's 2.5 and Courtois' 2.6. And despite facing 1.3 more shots per game than Arsenal's Czech, he's actually conceding fewer goals than the more experienced man.
With Strakosha in goal for years to come, the future certainly looks bright for Simone Inzaghi's side. But if you want to be a feature in next week's show, make sure you at us on Twitter or in the comment section below with the hashtag #OneToWatch and tell us why they're so special.
For our final story, we go to Barcelona, and it's that man once again, yes, Lionel Messi. He's a fantastic player, obviously, but not so great with his taxes.
Yes, Messi might be having another stellar season on the pitch with his 17 league goals, leading Blaugrana 9 points clear at the summit of La Liga. But off the pitch, the attacking phenomenon has landed himself in trouble once again.
Naughty, naughty. Der Spiegel, a widely read German news magazine, has reported that the Spanish authorities are investigating whether payments from Barcelona to the Lionel Messi Foundation were used to help the player evade tax.
Now, bear with us briefly for some figures, but according to the source, the club paid the foundation €12.7 million between 2010 and 2016, which represented 72% of the foundation's revenues.
Crazy. Between 2010 and June 2013, the club reduced the corporate tax they paid on the money by 35%. That's a pretty decent amount. This aroused suspicions that the money paid by the club to the foundation had been remunerative and evaded corporate and income tax.
This latest news suggests that Messi and his associates may have been using the foundation's money for personal gain rather than its stated aim of ensuring all children have the same opportunities to make their dreams come true and to promote equality in health and education.
Could the GOAT have tarnished his reputation once again? Watch this space.
So that was Futbol Mundial. As usual, what did you think of the stories and have we missed any out? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, right there, and Michael, tell them what to do next.
Well, they should go to Stat Wars on the weekend. Sadly, it's one of Bab's last episodes. There are still a couple more to come. But yes, the rumours are true. John Bab is leaving. Some of you have been saying that he might be going to China. We can't possibly comment. But
contract negotiations are still underway. He's driving a hard bargain. But as always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.